I'm JP Tong, and I'm currently in Kechara Forest Retreat, Malaysia. And thank you very much for tuning in to today's Thursday Paranormal Tales. So how is everyone doing this evening? As you can see, I have a very special guest tonight.
Keyword special.
It's a very special guest, and Li Kim. Okay,
Hello, how's everybody doing?
So I'll introduce her more, just in case you don't know who she is. But let's wait for everyone to tune in. So let's see who we have. Hold on.
Have you had those, come on, but no identification?
Not yet. Hi, David. Hi, Jacinta. Oh, Jacinta knows you, Li Kim. She just said hi to you.
Hi.
Okay, so we'll wait a few more seconds. 11 people now.
I like this.
The social distance? Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Makes us look very foreign to each other. Maybe, providing space for the unseen friends. Makes you wonder.
Each other.
Makes you wonder.
You scare everybody.
So spirits need to do social distancing. You're like,
no, there's like 2 people. I thought we saw like 3, right?
Here, easily, comfortably sit 3 kids.
3. Oh, that's scary. Hi, Pastor Niral. Hello. And the lovely person behind the camera is none other than Pastor Jinai. Hi, Pastor David, Cynthia, Yin Ping, Tata, Ann. Hi, Yin Ping. And Wubi, Bradley. Hello. Pastor Antoinette. Hi, Cochran. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll just wait for a few more seconds, yeah? So, well, enjoy your tea while we're waiting. We're very hospital here.
Yeah, Pastor Gina suggested we have a mug. Then I thought, is the mug going to be filled with anything? Oh, yeah. You all have to appear to be friends.
Be friends. So we're not friends. Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking, okay, I've known JP since I was 21. I forgot how old I am today. That was a long time ago, and then I was like, "Oh, we can do friends."
Do friends, right? Exactly. Okay, there's more people who joined. Corinne, hello, Corinne, Lily, Alice, hello. Okay, so I guess we can start. So as you all know, Li Kim was the host of this TV show called the Paranormal Zone, right?
The Paranormal Zone.
Yeah,
I wanted to register Sam Rinpoche Paranormal Zone, but I was told I can't use a name in the title of my show. So it just became the...
Oh, that's good enough, because it was really popular. And I think the first episode was, during 2012, you were saying? 2012, right. So that's been a while. So, and she has gone through a lot of experiences. So I thought that it'd be very interesting for everyone, to hear from Li Kim personally. Yeah. So if you have not seen her video, it's available online, YouTube.
The program is available. Season 1 and Season 2 are available on YouTube. It's called the Paranormal Zone channel. I think Season 4 has finished on Astro.
Okay.
Season 3 is still with me, so maybe one day I'll put it up on YouTube. Or maybe we'll just air it here on this channel.
Sure.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you've not watched it, you can watch it on YouTube. Yeah, Season 1 and 2. Great. Okay, so more people join. Hi Sharon. Hi Yvonne. Hello. Okay, so you've done quite a few years of this Paranormal Zone, right? And I've watched some of the episodes, and some were pretty scary. What was most memorable for you?
Okay. So I covered quite a number of topics. Cemetery scenes are always very popular, but it wasn't that exciting or sexy, So I covered spirits and supernatural aspects, like people taking trance. We had 2 episodes on UFO and aliens.
You actually saw a UFO?
Not,
or?
You mean when I looked in the mirror? No, just kidding. So corny, huh? I
This
came
is
to
not a
corny
stand-up.
too.
This is not a stand-up, okay? So, back on
Oh,
track.
it's not a
stand-up.
comedy.
No.
Ah, so this. It's been a long time since I hosted Paranormal. I've been doing comedy every day of my life. Okay, it wasn't. We actually interviewed people who had sightings, and then we also
In Malaysia?
yeah, and we
Wow.
interviewed people who are studying UFO and aliens, existence of them, scientists. You know, we interviewed quite. We actually had 2 episodes, but the actual sighting of any, unfortunately, didn't have. But when you hear the stories of people, I mean, at least in the 4 years or 5 years that I was filming, I actually learned the most when I interview people and they share with me their experiences, and you know, you kind of, you know, you get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then inspired by Rinpoche was the one on Bigfoot.
Okay.
We had 2 episodes on Bigfoot, and I went up mountains looking for them, sat under this tree that had a white cloth and waited for them to appear, but they didn't. But
Where was this?
up north, Malaysia, up north, can't remember.
Oh, so there were sightings of
Yeah, there
Bigfoot
were
in
sightings. Then they
Malaysia.
call it the orang tua bergigi. No, old man with teeth. Actually, it's like
Oh, wow.
not as big as the Bigfoots that we know, but the Yeti type smaller ones.
Smaller ones, wow.
And there were there was this family that why did I end up talking about Bigfoot? I was going to tell you something else, but never mind.
You can start with Bigfoot.
Yeah,
and
so
then,
they this family, the father was like a healing doctor, a healing master, or a shaman, or whatever terms we want to use. So he did a lot of healing, and he had 3 sons.
Okay.
And all 3 sons actually inherited this special gift that the father had. And the father had a very unique relationship with a Yeti, or orang tua bergigi. Yeah. Okay, so he would always disappear into the jungle for a few days, where he comes back and he has been like refreshed. And apparently the story is that the father goes and meets up with the Yeti, or the Bigfoot, and replenishes his energy. And then he comes back and he's able to heal more. So, you know, when you do healing, you actually remove by absorbing.
So you're saying that
he goes into the jungle, spends a few days there with the Bigfoot, and cleanses himself and comes back re-energized.
The Bigfoot actually teaches him how to re-energize.
Something like that, yeah. But
That's
I didn't
amazing.
witness it,
Wow,
because
that's really
this the father had passed away, and then the 3 sons inherited this, and one of them lost his powers of healing because he consumed alcohol and then went into the jungle to this mountain where they normally go and meet, and he was drunk, and he lost his power. And one more son, the eldest one, who was the most powerful in healing, he started to commercialize. And when he commercialized, he also was not so good anymore in healing. He was able to cut without any utensils to take out things and stuff like that. So it was pretty... I mean, what impacted me was not so much paranormal, but then again, it's human greed. When you commercialize such a special gift, you will lose the gift. So...
And it was only this family that actually
that we
saw
found,
this,
that we interviewed,
this
yeah.
Yeti? Oh, I didn't know that.
So I went to this special tree one night. This leads me to another story. So we went to the special tree to wait, and we waited. And the funny thing is, when I host this program, I go in not without a brain. I go in without judgments and thoughts. I have a very open mind, because Rinpoche told me that I just need to be very calm and very clear with my motivation, which is to not create harm or anything. So I would go in and I sat under this tree and I waited. And of course I would always recite Doje Shukden mantra, and I always have Rinpoche's face in my head so that I clear and I am grounded and my shield of protection is on, you know. Because...
Was that advice?
Yes.
For you to do that?
Yeah, from Rinpoche all the time.
Oh, okay.
That's the way to...
Is to protect you?
Is to protect me, and because I go with a crew of 12, and not everybody is a Buddhist, and not everybody may be a follower of Sam Rinpoche. So basically, Rinpoche told me that I need to keep myself very grounded, because the lack of a better description, the shield of protection will lie with me.
All right.
Because my connection with Rinpoche.
Okay, so
Yeah,
only
so-
you were protected.
No,
how-
and so my team, because
Oh,
I
okay.
and then
So you invoke the protection
Yeah.
for your
yeah
your
because for
team.
4 or 5 years when we filmed, nothing happened.
That's amazing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And trust me, we did have staff present, but no one like tagged along and went home with us.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, back to my tree. So sat under there and I waited, and I just allowed myself to be very calm and quiet, which was not easy. I'm not a very quiet person, but for the show I was. And after about 30 minutes or so, there was some what's the word when there's movement in the trees, rustling.
Rustling.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. So audio was all tuned in sharp to pick it up. There was some rustling on my right hand side, and camera couldn't catch it, but I saw it the side. I didn't gawk back because you don't do that, right? Like, you're not supposed to stare at strangers. You sure as hell won't stare at more than strangers. So anyways, so I looked and I thought that I saw a figure that was at the trees. And we're not talking a human-sized figure, okay? Pretty big, just peeking. But they didn't come out or anything. And then I left it.
How far away was that?
The tree, myself, and maybe about 6 meters into the
That's
forest.
pretty near.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was my experience. The thing is, I'm told that they're very shy.
Okay.
They're not going to come out when you have your cameras and your lights high. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone did that, it's that would be really paranormal, I guess. But what really was memorable was black magic. The stories that the episodes I covered on black magic.
Oh.
Yeah.
And which one in particular stood out for you?
We researched a story in Jogja, and it was a very sad story, in the sense that it was heart-wrenching. I think this is probably my favorite. I won't favorite not in that sense, but most memorable. There was this girl. She was a victim of black magic.
Okay.
And the person who inflicted the black magic onto her was her ex-husband, who of course obviously didn't want to let her go. And the sad part is in this episode you see the perfect harmony between science and magic, because normally people who practice medical science will not believe in magic. But lucky for this girl, the hospital that she kind of went into, because everyone rejected her,
Okay.
because she was having nails coming out of her body.
What do you mean by nails coming out of the body?
Nails ranging from this long to this small to this thick to fine ones, and nails
Coming out from where?
rusted from her joints, from her bones, from her flesh.
Just like you just see it popping out.
They were surgically removed, and then overnight it grows back again. So all the previous hospitals actually didn't know how to treat her anymore. Then she came into this hospital in Jogja, and she fainted at emergency room, and they brought her in. And she's lucky because the doctor who treated her medically, surgically removed the nails, and there was one this long. I actually saw it. It was this long. It was rusty. Anyways,
What, you were in the
I saw
operating theater?
No, this happened a long time ago. We just found her story, interviewed her, and found the doctor who operated on her,
okay.
and he actually kept
Oh wow.
the nails, and it was pretty scary. I mean, some were quite small. They would be embedded into her bones, embedded under her flesh, so they were surgically removed, and I saw all her scars. Her limbs were all scarred, and of course there was probably some, because there was so much surgery. In total, I think they removed 2,000 over nails over a period of 2 years plus. 2,000 over nails, because overnight it comes back out, and it comes out on the x-ray. They see it. So when the doctor removed the nails and it came back 24 hours later, what happened was he started to realize that there is more to this than just medical science, and that there's actually no explanation on a medical science level, right? And they kept her in the hospital to remove the suspicion that she's swallowing the nails.
Okay.
So what this man did, this surgeon or this doctor who was treating her, he's also a holy man. He's religious, so he actually brought in an ustad. What's
an ustad? A priest or?
What's what's the best way to say this? Muslim priest.
Muslim
Yeah.
priest.
So
okay.
he was, because she was Muslim. So, and he went through with her every night in the hospital, reading a part of the Quran called the Ruqyah.
Okay.
Did I say it right? Ruqyah. Anyway, so she recited, and it's very funny. When they were reciting, because I also interviewed the ustad who healed her, so I interviewed the doctor and the ustad and herself.
Okay.
And she started vomiting blood and all kinds of stuff. And she was vomiting. And then at one point when she vomited, a lump of hair came out, which the doctor kept. And the hair was like as though it was coiled around a photo. So they undid it, and the photo was actually the photo of her ex-husband. Yeah, he forced her to marry her. He forced her to marry him, and then after that, he used black magic to control her. And when she broke free and left the marriage, he went after her.
Wow. So how was she healed then?
She was eventually healed after 2 to 3 years of constantly removing the nails and reciting the Ruqyah and seeking spiritual healing with this ustad. She overcame it. And in fact, she started helping people who were victims of black magic.
Oh, wow, that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
And she's fine
She's
now?
fine now.
Wow.
When I spoke to her, it made me cry because she said that yes, physically the nails are not coming up anymore, but the scars are always there, and the emotional scarring and the mental scarring. And it was very traumatic for her. And because of so much surgery that took place, she can't stand for very long. Because those nails, the big ones, they did hurt her bones.
Oh, wow.
So she does stand, and after a while she needs to sit. So she is, she can be a little bit physically a bit more fragile, but with time she says she does some light exercises and she does to heal herself. But mentally she's stronger, emotionally, but the scarring is definitely there. I mean,
2,000 over. That's amazing.
It's scary. It was in the
story.
news. It was in the news local news in Jogja. It wasn't like.
And did she explain how that ball of hair?
She
was
doesn't understand.
ingested?
It just
It
when she
disappeared?
recited the Ruqyah, just it all came out like that.
And did nails come out as well?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Nails, hair. Yeah.
And was there any explanation, or is it common in Indonesia?
Apparently, yeah, black magic is actually pretty common if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't use the word man because everyone will say I'm a sexist. Humankind, as long as greed prevails, jealousy prevails, negativity prevails, and you actually indulge in the negativity and make things happen and act on the negativity, black magic is a charm, because it's just about black magic works when you have very bad motivation.
Okay.
So that story was pretty heart-wrenching.
Oh, that's a very sad story, but I'm glad that she actually
she recovered.
recovered.
Yeah. But she is, like Rinpoche used to say, witnessing or seeing spirits or being susceptible to black magic spells is also a karma thing.
Yes.
And there is no doubt whether it's she had the karma and her ex-husband just blew it out of proportion. She has the karma, so she is susceptible to these kind of spells. Like sometimes, even if it's not directed at her, because she has that karma, sometimes she will feel the side effects. Like when she's helping people, victims of black magic, she will come back and suddenly there is hair coming out of her skin.
Wow.
And she'll just have to, she accepts it, that is part of her helping that person to absorb some of it. So she will just recite her prayers and then go and see the doctor and just remove it, and then just stay away for a few days to just let her body recharge.
That's amazing. Let's see if there are any questions for Li Kim. Let's see.
Do you need glasses?
I'm fine.
I can't read my tab anymore, okay? I need glasses, so don't ask me to read anything.
Okay, there's CK, there's Chung Xuan. Oh, there are actually more people who tune in, and there is Kirsten. Hello, Kirsten. CK Xia, Suzanne Tiao, Lin Man. Hi, Audrey. Chin Wei, David Chu. Kirsten says, nice to see a ghost magnet and a ghost hunter sharing experiences. Which is very funny.
She thinks she's very funny.
She thinks very funny. Okay, there's a question from, how do you say this? Adele Tan? Is that your name? Okay. Does the black magic, what happened to the husband? And does the black magic bounce back to the person who cast it? Well, let's
what
answer
happened to the husband?
Yeah, the first
I hope
question.
he blew up, but apparently not. Shall I keep my personal comments to myself? Or shall I write it on the comment section? So he did not blow up. And I actually asked this question. Okay, I'm going to go all over the place, but I'll get back to you. I actually asked this lady, when I interviewed her, whether she wanted to take revenge since she knew it was black magic and she knew it was the ex-husband, whether she was going to go for him. And she said no. Part of her healing was to let it go. So to answer your question,
to let what go?
To let the husband go, meaning to let it go by not taking revenge by doing black magic, like black against black. Okay, because she also, the ustad taught her that would only just make things worse.
Okay.
So, the husband was because there was evidence after all the and I think in Jogja, perhaps the police can be more open to such theories of crime, and he was brought in by the police to be questioned, and then he was warned. So he stayed away from her for about 2 years, which also probably explains how she could have all the nails removed without any new ones coming in. And in terms of your question, whether black magic will reverse back like a boomerang and slap the guilty one in the face, yeah, because there's karma. When you are what's the right word to use? When you endorse black magic, whether you do it yourself or you go through a black magic master or some evil guy who's gonna, inspire you to be evil and act on it and then do black magic on others, there is karma. So if you use black magic to attain certain wealth, attain certain fame, attain certain beauty, if you engage in magic that is dark, the joys or the results will not last. And when the time comes and karma takes place for the person who endorses black magic, the beauty will reverse, the wealth will reverse, etc., etc.
Okay, so but the question is, does the black magic bounce back to the person who cast it? So
bounce back like a ball?
Yeah, like because he was casting all those nails to the ex-wife, so does it bounce back eventually, or it does not?
I guess.
Because I don't think it does.
I think
does it?
It's not like a tennis game,
No, but I think
it
bounces
doesn't.
back
But
like you said, as in karma.
There is karma involved in doing black magic, but if you are talking about, I literally I visualize those needles bouncing back. That happens when you do revenge.
Yes.
Meaning you get an I haven't done an interview in such a long time. When you get another dark master, equivalent in strength and power or more, and to defend, meaning one is, in this case, for example, the husband sends it to the wife using the black magic sifu, and then you take revenge using black magic, then you will have a clash. And during that time, this side taking the revenge can send back stuff to you, nails or whatever.
Yeah, but
it depends.
But it's something that in Kechara we don't subscribe to, because as Buddhist practitioners, we learn that in order for a black magic to work successfully, or if I inflict black magic on you, you must have that karma to receive it.
Not only that,
right.
Okay, why would anyone who's normal want to inflict black magic on another person? So the source, or the person who's asking for the black magic to be done, the source is obviously not right, evil, dark, greedy, whatever terms you want to use. That in itself is karma, and you generate more karma by doing black magic. And the recipient or the victim of the black magic obviously has the karma to sadly be a victim. And when they seek help, and the help they get is so-called through revenge, you are compounding the karmic effect. Yeah? But in this case, like what I interviewed, she chose the spiritual healing all the way.
Yeah.
She read the Ruqya, she embraced her faith more, she believes strongly, she prayed every day, and she sought the counsel or the help of the Ustad that healed her spiritually, and she had the support of a doctor who also used medical science to help her as well. So if one engages in black magic revenge, then you're just asking for all hell to break loose. And you have to be prepared for the repercussions of that, and it can't be pretty.
Just like how they say you can't fight war with another war, so it's always through peaceful means. That's why as Buddhists we use very peaceful means, and what we do is, I remember there were a few people who came to look for Rinpoche, and because they had they were suffering from black magic, and I thought Rinpoche was going to do this elaborate ritual, and
like what we see on TV,
right? And it was nothing. I mean, it was none of that. And Rinpoche explained to to the people back then about karma and how you can actually purify it. And all they did was and Rinpoche prescribed pujas, prayer rituals for them to do. And if these pujas were too elaborate, we would actually ask our puja team members to actually do it for them. If not, if it was even more serious and required more people, would actually call up the monasteries and get the monks to do that. But they themselves, if they there'll be certain prayers for them to recite as well to purify, and that's it. And Rinpoche says that once you're purified, no matter what that person tries to do, by inflicting black magic, it will just bounce off.
Or it will just graze you as opposed to shoot you right there and kill you.
Yeah, so that's why purifying the karma is actually very, very important in this instance. Yeah. So there is another question here. Bradley, what tools are used to cast black magic on other people? Do you know?
Bradley, I don't do black magic. I don't know.
But did you find out?
Pots and pans. Okay, we are traditionally we have seen the voodoo dolls, the nails, but in reality, in this particular instance with this girl, all it took actually was just her photograph. Okay. That's it. It was just her photograph. We have all this, must pull one strand of your hair, and if can, like the whole, collecting DNA or stuff, your strand of your hair. In this case, it was just a photograph of her, and because they were married, can you imagine how easy it was? It was just a photograph of her, and then that's it.
That was it.
And then the spells started coming. I've never witnessed someone actually doing a black magic spell. I haven't.
I know someone who has
actually done it.
Witnessed it. I'll be interviewing him soon. And you wonder who it is, right? Well, you got to stay tuned. Yeah, I'll be interviewing
I've interviewed people who I don't think dissolve is the right, people who counter black magic or help victims of black magic.
Okay.
And of course they don't do black magic, they're obviously doing white magic because they're helping.
Yeah.
And I've always had a theory that if you can do white, you must understand black.
Oh yes.
So, but they would never do it because they want to heal, and I don't know, they've always said that once you start doing black magic, there's no turning back.
Okay.
And they also tell you the money is great.
I'm sure, but Okay, so let's see. Any more questions? Bradley, I hope that helps. Yeah, Sharon. It depends on. Okay, any more questions? Wait, Pastor David has something.
Pastor David.
I heard that when very powerful black magic is cast and the victim protects himself or herself via spiritual means, the magic will actually bounce back and afflict the person who cast or sometimes the closest to them. That's what Pastor David said. And Adele Tan, JP, so the wife has the karma to get the black magic, right? Yes, correct. If we don't have the karma to receive black magic, no matter what others try to cast it on us, it will not work. But what it'll do is it will splatter onto others who are karmically close to us. Yeah, and remember there was one of my episodes I was saying that there was this friend of mine, and his father built a pergola outside, in his garden, and there was a really bad storm, and the pergola fell onto the neighbor's land, and it killed the neighbor's son. And the neighbor was so bitter, he hired someone to cast black magic on the dad. But you see, the dad was not affected, but the sister was affected, and he was affected a little bit. And because of that, the sister would see spirits every evening at 7 p.m. She would see like a group of spirits coming towards her, and she would just have high fever, and it was so high that they had to take her to the hospital just in case. And after a while, the doctors kind of figured out that it was not something that was medical. And they said, why don't you ask, like a holy person to come and help you? And my friend said that they did consult, other people, and they said that it was because it was supposed to be aimed at the dad, but somehow it splattered on them. So
and then her karma thing opened, and she suffers more from it.
Yeah.
The father probably just had some, maybe,
So
less effect.
Yeah, so don't worry, Adele, if you are afraid, because if you just in case, if you are wary that people may cast a spell on you when your luck is low, perhaps, or when your negative karma is right.
What's the Chinese saying? 喜完带.
喜完带, yeah. So
how do you say that in English? 喜完带.
When your luck is down.
When your 喜完带.
When your luck is down.
Okay. Or when your energy level, your
energy level is down. Yeah. We do have a very powerful protection called the Ru. R-U-E-L, Ru. We actually invite that from the monasteries, and they're very powerful prayers done to consecrate this protection. And you can actually find it in Kechara or vajasecrets.com. Yeah, so do look out for that.
Or Rule is the longer, the tubular one.
Yes.
There's also the square ones, the chakras.
The chakra, but Rule will be more powerful for black magic. Yeah, so you can actually wear that in your as a pendant, or you can put it in your bag or put it in your pocket, and that is just as effective. Yeah.
To me, the Sam Rinpoche's pendant does it all. The one with Rinpoche's face does it all. 保个料.
Okay, let me see if there are any other questions.
I think Pastor David summed it up pretty well about the whole bouncing back thing.
Yes, definitely. Okay, I think that's all for the questions. So, are there more memorable stories that you can remember? Why don't you tell us about that baby? That freaked me out.
After I finished 4 seasons, you're still at season 1, episode 1.
Yes.
That one was...
Yeah,
that freaked me out. That freaked me out. It was my pilot episode. It was the first episode of season 1. And we were going to cover... the Chinese is 鬼仔, which is child spirit. And we found a local sifu, a master, who has actually been back on my show a few times, Sifu Alan, and he's very, very helpful. And we interviewed him, and he knew how to help dispel a child spirit. So, and so we questioned a bit, and basically what happens is when a person or a woman has a miscarriage or an abortion, there is apparently a market for it, and they extract the fetus or the blood from the fetus, and they use it as the basis of the spell that they cast onto this child spirit. So the fetus is kept intact and used for this whole magic thing called child spirit. And what the child spirit does for you is it can help you with your relationship, with your marriage, with your wealth and all. It's basically a spell. I'm losing my words.
So, okay, let me help her. So you're saying that
the spell is invoked into the fetus,
okay.
and then you So
basically,
you bring it home.
So what you're saying,
a spell casted fetus.
Okay, so what you're saying is this. Now there is something residing in this fetus, right?
The spell.
Which is actually a dead.
Evil.
Which is actually a dead.
Yeah.
It's just a corpse of a
fetus.
So what actually resides in this body?
The spell that you are of your wishes. For example,
so
a woman.
It is not the soul of the baby.
No.
It's not the soul of the baby.
We understand it as the karma of the baby, right? But
Okay.
there's no soul involved now. It is spell. It is a spell is casted on this fetus.
On this fetus, and then what happens when they cast the spell
This
on the
fetus has to be kept in a dark room,
Okay.
on a bed. At the foot of the fetus, or at the end of the bed, there is the picture of the owner. Could be the master, so it
Okay.
could be a man or a woman, the master of fetus, and a scented perfume of the master.
Okay.
So you are training the fetus to recognize mama
All right.
or daddy. And it grows apparently, but you need to terminate it after about, if I'm not wrong, after about 2 years, was it? After about 6 years or something, I could be wrong.
Okay.
After about
After a few
6
years,
years, you
okay.
need to terminate this this child spirit, because it does grow. By the way, I was told it actually grows a few inches.
All right.
But by the 6th or 7th year, you need to terminate it. That means you bring it back to the source where it was cursed, and end it, because
what is
it
the
will
point
start to
of-
take control of everything.
So what's the point of casting a spell on this fetus?
It will grant you your wishes. So for example, I'm the master.
Yeah.
I go to you. You are some child spirit master, Bomo Tingi, and I tell you, I wish for wealth. I wish for my husband to stay with me all the time, not blah blah blah, because I'm paranoid, blah blah blah. And you cast all these wishes. The spell goes in, and it's granted through this child spirit.
So what does the child spirit do?
Make sure that your husband doesn't, the wishes that I wish, my money, my relationship, my marriage, it grants it.
So do I actually get? So is there like a spirit?
You need to treat it like a child, by the way.
So do you actually see the
No.
child spirit?
No. It's
Okay.
kept in a dark room, and it needs to be fed. It needs to be treated like a child, but not like taken for a walk or anything like that. But you just have to love it. That means if I was the one who asked for it, I need to love it. That is why after about 6 years of having it, it will start to control everything. It will start to take control.
Because I remember watching that particular episode, and the master asked you to stick your finger
Yeah.
into the baby's mouth.
It all
So
happened.
can you tell us
What
about
happened was the interview was to be conducted, and he was going to show us how the whole spell takes place, and he was just going to make some kind of a cookie dough, roll a cookie dough and shape it a bit like a fetus. But knowing me, because I'm such an exciting person, upon arrival at site to shoot the interview and the making of it, with a cookie dough and to how the spell is inserted or how the prayers are done.
Yeah.
Someone returned a guai zai that morning.
The baby, the fetus.
A spelled one, a cursed fetus. Someone returned it after 2 years, because it was starting to be weird.
Okay.
So they just returned it to this master. But the thing is, this master is not the originating master.
Okay.
So he had to actually do a very general prayer to relieve this fetus of its spell.
Okay.
Okay. So during the whole prayer thing, so we were observing, filming, and he puts this, the Chinese talisman, the fuwa. He put it on the top, the head part. And here's the very weird part. When I saw this fetus, I could see the shape, a fetus shape.
Okay.
I could see like little ribs. I could see a whole translucent thingy and the shape. But the funny thing is, when the cameras zoomed in to capture it, it just saw a blob of red. It couldn't see what I saw.
Blob.
Just a blob of red.
Red.
Because it was, red.
R-E-D.
R-E-D.
Okay.
Are you
A blob
testing
of
my
red. A
a
red
blob.
blob.
A
A
red
red blob. Okay. I thought you were going to say bread. A blob of bread.
A red blob. I thought you said
A
this is
red
not a
blob.
comedy. This is not a comedy.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you now about the most exciting part. Okay,
All right,
and then you're
okay.
going to do an English test on me. First he tested my memory. Now he wants to test my spelling.
So it's okay.
So now-
So they saw a red blob.
So
all right.
the camera could only see a red thing. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But when I saw it, because the camera is filming me this way, I saw the whole shape, right? Then never mind. So then anyways, the head part was covered with the talisman. So the man said, that the master said, we are going to send him away tonight.
Okay.
Okay? So and we went to send him away down the river. After prayers again. So anyway, so he said, would I like to feed it? I was thinking in my head, you gotta be kidding. This is my first episode, the pilot episode of the entire series. It was my first time, and I was thinking in my head, I mean, they couldn't film the whole bubble speech thing. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, I tried to still really calm and professional, right? So I was like, are you kidding me? And he goes, you can try, but when you do it, don't hold your stomach. Or after you feed, don't touch your stomach. And I was thinking, why? And he says that if you're not lucky, or it could transfer. And I'm thinking to myself, right, And Bridget told me not.
What do you mean by transfer?
As in,
it will enter you.
it will take me as the mother. So that freaked me out. In my head, I'm freaking out, right? So anyway, so I said, okay, whatever. I told myself it's fine, everything is fine, nothing can go wrong. So I was thinking just to put the rice under the talisman, and of course the seafood took my hand. And when I put the rice, I was like, I felt something chew on my finger.
Oh my goodness.
It was so creepy. And I don't even know why I didn't freak out. I kind of left my finger there. I don't know.
You actually felt the
yes,
fetus
it was
nibbling.
And I thought,
That's
and then the
creepy.
scary part is when the camera zoomed in to try to take a close-up before
Yeah.
production-wise and for footage, it just saw a red blob. No, nothing that I saw could be seen by the camera. It was so weird. But yeah, so I felt it. Ew.
So it was actually eating the rice.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be a dead fetus, right?
What if I had fed it protector rice? I don't know. Maybe it would have given it some peace, because it's actually it's very creepy in the sense that obviously the pregnancy did not go into full term.
Okay.
The fetus obviously didn't have the karma to be born, right? So it got aborted, or it was a miscarriage. And by not letting it go peacefully and bringing in and invoking with spells, it's actually very bad.
Because
That's
all
why-
along I thought they actually captured the baby's soul and trapped it in.
No, they actually
in the
capture the
fetus.
whole
Yeah,
thing in
and-
the fetus lah. I'm not sure about the soul.
Because there are accounts that I have heard whereby they actually see kids running around.
That is not surprising. That's not surprising at all. I mean, the entire fetus is taken for this whole casting of the spell to make it a ghost spirit. And I am very sure, because on a very spiritual and karmic front, everything is intact. The fetus is intact in the sense that it's extracted intact and it's retained intact, is preserved intact. So I am sure the soul is still there.
It's still there, right?
Because prayers were not done for it to rest in peace. In fact, it's cursed now and trapped to fulfill greedy wishes and power crazy wishes.
So, but they finally managed to release.
In this particular one that I filmed, it was returned because, according to the master, the person who returned it felt weird and it's as though things were getting out of control. So they probably got one angry fetus lah. Because after 6 or 7 years, you need to end it because it will end up taking control because it's growing up.
That's interesting. Okay, let's see if there are any other questions here.
Oh, that was a very creepy one.
Hi, Helena Chin. Helena's watching. Hello. Yeah, she said that she has watched that episode.
Maybe she remembered.
Adele asked, "Do you have the link to share, please?" Do you have
the link to?
Oh, it's shared. Oh, okay, it's shared already.
Yeah, you should watch that. Don't look at my makeup for season 1. I look like a paranormal myself.
Okay, there is a question here. Clive asks, "Hi Clive, thank you very much for tuning in. What those Thai ladies carry doll to temple, plastic child dolls in historic costumes, usually clutching a bag of gold and believed to be inhabited by the ghost of an unborn fetus. Are they of the same practice?" Did you hear?
Okay. In this particular, in terms of the question, and I know what you're talking about the what is practiced in Thailand, and the ladies are in traditional costumes and they're carrying a child around. I did an episode. End of season 2 was filmed in Thailand, and I covered something similar to this. Let me refresh my memory. In the ancient times, this is pretty morbid, yeah. In the ancient times, corpse, dead things, even animals, but of course the most powerful being a baby, unborn baby. So when you cast it with a spell or your wishes, it's very, very powerful, and it grants all your wishes. It's very similar to what I had filmed and very similar to what I shared earlier. But this was pretty, when I was told what was the original practice, was actually pretty gross. It was grotesque, and when you hear it, it's completely inhuman. The people who do this kind of black magic, casting onto unborn children, they actually capture pregnant women and slice open the stomach, because the child cannot be born. It must be unborn, still in the stomach.
Slice open as in kill the mother?
Yeah. They slice open the stomach, extract that unborn child. But it's already formed lah, so it can be different sizes. And then they will, from what I recall, they will clean it, dry it a bit, and then do the spells. And then it is kept in a glass box.
And what happens to the mother?
The mother's gone. Bye-bye. Gone, the only one that unborn. So in the ancient times, this is what I heard, and I was shocked. I was literally shocked. I was thinking, it is so inhumane, right? But that was what was practiced. And then, of course, it was found out. It's murder, right? So it was found out, and then I'm talking about ancient times, okay? This is what they told me was the original method of practice. And it became banned. It was stopped. Those people who did it that way were arrested, etc. So authorities took control. It was completely banned. So what happened was, then they kind of fine-tuned the practice. It is still invoking a it is still invoking energy. This time I'm using energy, not spirit or unborn child, but bear with me. They start invoking energy into these dolls to cast good luck, to help protection. So now you see in shops there's this little babies, what do they used to call it? See, I'm using those words. So there's these little babies, and they have energies invoked into them, casted onto them to provide protection on a very positive light.
Okay.
There is not much said about the negative aspects. It
And
is
these
still
are for
practiced.
sale?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's to bring good luck. Like, you know, if you have a shop, you put it at the top, you know, and it brings good luck, it brings customers. It's a very positive thing. It is no longer dark like last time when slicing open of stomachs. So yes, they do carry them around because it's supposed to bring good luck, bring love, bring relationships, bring happy, joy.
So would you recommend for people to actually invite that? These Thai dolls?
Personally, no. I'm not into dolls. I mean, I used to play with dolls. I would cut them up. I would dissect Barbie doll's head and slice off her hair and stuff like that. Okay, maybe shouldn't have said that. But I always feel, this is many years of interviewing people. When you do something like that and your motivation may be good, may be positive, and you just want to bless the place, so you invite a doll, just like how people would argue, you invite a Buddha statue, it's like a doll what? No. A doll is a doll. A Buddha is a Buddha. Okay? So, what happens is you don't know when the doll is sitting at home, supposed to be inviting good energy. You don't know, in transit something comes along and says, oh, little dolly, and sits inside your little dolly, and then next thing you know, your little dolly ain't so positive anymore. So why would you like to have a portal in your house that can be open to other kinds of energies? That's why I don't encourage it. However, I can't say that hundreds of years of practice by certain cultures and traditions and beliefs is wrong. So the Thais have practiced this doll for a long time, and some people really go by it. So it's a very cultural thing. So if it's in your culture, then I guess it would be all right. But if it's not your culture and it's something foreign to you, it's not your daily practice, why? Why would you want that?
Well, it's because it says it's for good. It's for what? It's for fortune, you were saying?
Yeah, they do have for fortune, yeah.
Right?
So is Zambala.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Zambala is for fortune too. I would go on a more traditional, religious or spiritual aspect. I would go with what your faith is, and go along those lines. I've heard creepy stories too about dolls. I did that in my Jakarta stories about dolls and how dolls can be possessed by spirits and not the original one that you wanted.
mm-hmm.
So that's why I discourage dolls. They're very creepy. Maybe it's very personal for me, you know?
Okay.
But yeah, if it's not part of your tradition, it's not part of your culture, and you don't have a master that helps you manage your dolly, don't invite one home. That's my advice.
So no dolls.
No dolly.
Okay.
If not, it becomes Chucky. Chung, 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 chung. Then we have a different story altogether.
All right, there's another question here. Chin Wei Ong. Hi, Chin Wei Ong. In your previous episode, you did mention that if someone casts a spell on you, but if it isn't your karma to receive it, the spell will be directed to your family members. So what can we do to ensure that our family is always protected? Because we will never know when someone casts a spell on us. Would you like to
In my
share?
previous episode or your previous
My
episode?
previous episode.
Okay, let's please.
You want me to explain that?
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
I can do some visual effects for you.
Okay. So yes, definitely. That's why. Well, if you are Buddhist, what we do is there are prayers that we do on a daily basis, such as the protector practice, Dorje Shugden, where we recite the mantras every day. It is actually to purify things like this from happening, and also to create a protection for us. That is one method. Another method would be, to carry what I said was a Ruel, R-U-E-L. It is a protection talisman where you can just carry
Amulet
it.
is the
There you
common
go.
term.
Yes, the amulet where you can carry it in your pocket, you can wear it, or you can put it in your in your purse. Yeah, so you just carry it all the time. So that's another way, a very powerful way, as well. And yeah, so these are just common things that you can do to help your family members and even yourself. Yeah. So yeah, so that's what we do here. Okay. So I hope that helps.
I've always said that the best way to counter spirits or issues related to spirits or magic is actually spirituality, meaning faith, religion. I think that's the best way. So you need to have a faith and have a daily practice that constantly purifies, constantly collects merits, and things like that, to constantly be doing the positive things, and being spiritual is one way to actually protect yourself against spirit disturbances, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And please caution, many people seek help of others like masters, etc., sifus and things like that. Don't hear me wrong, I'm not saying they're bad, but please, like how you would do due diligence when you're looking for a school for your kids, or you're getting an opinion from a doctor for your health condition, how you will do due diligence, please do the same when you are looking for any spiritual masters and things like that. Just don't jump onto any wagon that anyone else is, oh, so good, and then woo, so good. And then I'll just say, good for you lah. Okay, be careful when choosing these kind of things. If it feels funny, you have questions, trust your instincts. If it feels funny, it's not meant to be, okay?
Yeah, well, that's very good advice from Li Kim. Do we have any more questions? Because I think the rest are all comments. They're having conversation among themselves right now.
Good, so we can sound off.
Yeah. So are there any? So are there any other questions for us? No questions are just going on. Oh, it's called Kumantong?
Yes, Kumantong, yes.
Yes, that's called Kumantong.
Correct.
Okay.
It had very dark beginnings, then it kind of toned down, and then the law kicked in. And so now it's very much the, good luck, happy kind of thing.
So what did you learn after all these episodes? Is there anything that you learned?
That I'm nuts? Okay, no, I learned that, just like how my tagline for my show, which I haven't said in ages, what we see may not be real, and what is real we may not see. That is basically my experience summed up. When it comes to the supernatural, when it comes to spirits, when it comes to spirituality, faith, culture, traditions, differences, opinions, there's no definite right and wrong. And one of the things that has always disturbed me is that when there is evil doing, may it be spirit disturbances, may it be black magic, etc., there's always that human element that influences it, that negative motivation, that evil thought, the greed for power that actually propels how powerful the black magic can be. Which is why similarly, when you have a negative mind, you also will feed your karma to open up to be susceptible to spirit disturbances as well as black magic and whatnot you have. So my point is, one thing I learned is being spiritual is important. It's not a choice that you can say when I have time. Because when you get disturbed by spirits or black magic comes knocking on your forehead, there's no time. So spirituality is a way of life, it's a daily practice, it protects you, it blesses, you collect merits, etc. So that's what I learned. I learned that evil begets evil. And karma is very important, and we always must understand it and do what's best to purify the karma. So yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. So I think that's it for today. And we got to wrap it up. So I think you do have a lot more stories, right? So perhaps if you're free, it would be wonderful for you to
with you again,
Yes.
and just can we
Yes.
do a longer social distance? Can we be unsociable? Sure, definitely.
Yeah, so,
we might
yeah.
even find a way because we're real techno experts here. We'll find a way. Maybe we'll air something from season 3,
Yeah,
which is not very
that'd be nice.
common unless they've come to Kechara House a few times last year. Air an episode and then after that have a short break and then come on live like
Yes.
this. How about that?
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Then
But
I
we
can
gotta
watch it
figure
again.
out the technical.
I don't
Aspect
think it's
first.
so complicated. We say we, but actually we're going to push it on Pastor Jinaya. Okay.
Okay,
Alright.
so thank you very much once again for,
Thank you for taking
tuning
the time.
in. And we'll announce.
you again.
Yeah, we'll see you again. All right, so take care and have a
Good evening.
night. Good night or good evening?
Good evening, good
Good
night,
evening.
good
Okay.
haha.
All right, see ya. Bye bye.